Hello, and welcome to episode 6 of DniceKnits. My name is Denise, and you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as DniceKnits515. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to my new and returning viewers. I have 100 subscribers, yay! And I'm thinking of doing a giveaway, maybe if I can get to 150, maybe 200 subscribers. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. It was my husband's idea, and I think it's a good idea, but I don't think 100 people is enough to get comments at the bottom. So let me know if 100 people is enough to give a giveaway of yarn and maybe a project bag. Today I have finished objects, which I have a lot because my knitting mojo is very high right now, which I love, and I'll keep continuing to knit until it's not. And then I have works in progress and some new things. So first of all, I'd like to talk about Christmas in July. So there's a couple of podcasters who do Christmas in July giveaway and contest, I guess. It's not even really a giveaway. It's just to celebrate Christmas in July because I love Christmas all year round. I've been known to listen to Christmas music all year round, and I am not an early decorator though. Like, I do wait until the day after Thanksgiving to start putting up the tree and putting up decorations. Even sometimes a little bit after Thanksgiving. I think Thanksgiving now kind of gets the shaft, and I like Thanksgiving too. You know, there's no pressure for gifts on Thanksgiving, and you get the good food of Thanksgiving. So I love Christmas. So I did 2 pairs of Christmas socks in July. So my first ones are called, they're West Yorkshire Spinners. West Yorkshire Spinners. And they're called the Holly Berry colorway, and I have two socks. I just don't have enough sock blockers for the number of socks that I finished. So I have 2 socks, and these were knit on size 2.25 millimeter needles, the US 1, and I start with 12 and I go to 64, and then I did 75 rows, and then I did the heel from the outside of the ball, and then I went back so it doesn't mess up the progression on the top of your foot, so that the colors stay in order on the top of your foot, because that's what you see when you wear your socks. And then I did a 75 on the rib, on the foot too. I usually don't do that much of a cuff, 75 rows, but with my Christmas socks, sometimes I like them to match. I don't know, I'm weird. And then a 12-inch ribbing, and then a Jenny's stretchy bind off at the top in a size 5. I use a size 5 needle, so it flares out a lot, but it goes over my insept, which sometimes is tight. And I know that if I do a heel and gusset, a gusset heel turn, that it might be stretchier here, and I won't have such a tight fit on my instep, but I like doing the fish lips kiss heel, and I'm not giving it up. So that's that one. And then Christmas sock number 2 is this one. And this pair, is a King Cole Zigzag in the summer colorway, which I think looks very Christmassy, except for the pink, which is not very Christmassy, but I think it's cute. If it didn't have the pink, it would be so Christmassy. But I think it's pretty. And with this one, I did some yarn management because on this second sock, there was going to be 2 big pink things. I think like one here and then one here. So I just cut it out and started again here, and then I had one here, which is fine. So, right here. This is where it was going to be another big swath of pink, and then it was going to have pink up here. Because this, I don't know what the repeat is at all. I think that's the repeat. I don't know. The way these socks, like, a sock repeat means like where it stops and repeats itself. And I think that might be it right up here. But I couldn't figure out what the sock repeat was on these socks. But I like them. They turned out really cute. So that's my second pair of Christmas socks. And then I have a pair of gift socks, which I don't know who these are going to go to. They might go to my mother-in-law. They might go to my grandmother-in-law, my husband's grandmother. So this is Drops Fable in the Emerald City colorway. And I had this one done before, and then I finished this one, which I had started but didn't show the last podcast. So I have a stitch marker from Walmart, I think. Yes. And these stitch markers I count every 10 rows so that my socks match. This too is a a Judy's Magic cast on, but these aren't a 1, and they're a 2.5 millimeter needle. And I do 60 rows instead of 75. I do 65, and then the fish lips kiss heel, and then this one is much shorter. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 50 rounds, and then 12 rounds of ribbing, and then Judy's Magic cast on for this. So that's these. And the second Christmas socks were almost the same sock formula, but they're 56 stitches because the yarn was much thicker than this yarn. So this is Drops Fable, yep, in the Emerald City colorway. And then my last, all socks, my last finished object I just finished 2 days ago, and it's a pair of shorty socks. Finished these, 2 days ago. So they're shorty socks again, and they have a little palm tree on them because it's summer, and I thought this is very summery. Palm tree on them. And those who watched my first podcast will recognize this yarn, because this is Serenity Sock in the Surf colorway, Premier Serenity Sock in the Surf colorway, and it's leftovers from my mother-in-law's socks. So these, and then this here is a 10-gram mini that I had, and I thought that it would go well. Kind of doesn't, but it kind of does. I thought the speckles would show up more because I didn't have enough yarn to do the minis, to do the heel and have enough for the cuff. And I like the fold over because it shows over my shoes, and I think it looks cute that way. So this again is on a US 2.5, and it's 60 stitches around, and then the fish lips kiss heel, and I think I did 25 rows. Yes, 25 rows up, and then I didn't do any ribbing, and then I just cast off, and so it rolls, and I think they're cute. So I have 2 of those, and this is another Walmart Progress Keeper. So that's that with these. So I have 4 finished objects today, and that's in 2 weeks, which is really good for me. I knit so much one day that like my fingers started hurting, so maybe I shouldn't knit that quickly again. I think it was these Holly Berry socks. I was trying to finish these in like 4 days, and I did it, but by the time I got here, it really hurt, and I didn't wash dishes, I didn't do laundry, I didn't clean my house for like 4 days because I needed to finish these socks. So my housekeeping fell to the wayside a little bit so I could finish those socks. So next I have my works in progress. So after I did all that knitting, I decided that I would crochet a little bit because I haven't crocheted in a while, and I feel like it gives my knitting muscles a break. But sometimes, I think I've mentioned this before, when I crochet, I tension really tightly, and right here starts to hurt if I'm not paying attention. So I do try to take more breaks when I crochet, but I like crocheting, and I feel like it goes a little quicker than knitting. So that's why I use it primarily for blankets. So this is my corner to corner blanket, which I've shown before, and it's getting pretty big. I'm going to cover myself. It's getting pretty big. I think it's almost time for me to stop like growing it on the sides and because you go corner to corner and then you even it out on the sides, because right now it's just a big triangle, right? It's a big triangle right now. So I think it's getting to the size where I need to, right here where I'll turn it and then you even it out. So it'll be, I think I'm going to make mine rectangle. I'm not going to make mine a square, but it's almost like, I think I'm going to put this on my couch. I was going to put it on my bed, but I also have a Cozy Memories blanket that I'm working on. I think I might put that on my bed. I haven't decided. It's really crazy colors, and it reminds me of like something my grandma would have made, which makes me really happy. So it's all leftovers from a nice person on Ravelry who offered me a bunch of their leftovers, because when I started my Cozy Memories blanket. I didn't have that many leftovers, and I put it out on Ravelry to get, and she gave me so many, and a lot weren't big enough to go in my cozy memories, so I started this one. So the last time I podcasted, you see where the waffle is, I was here. So I've made quite a bit of progress because, you know, it's getting longer. Like each row is much longer. And I don't really do much yarn management. Like sometimes I won't put a pink next to a pink or a red next to a red. And if like a color is too dark, I won't put it in. But you know, I put a black in there. So yeah, so that's that. And I'd like to work on it more. I have yarn hanging from it somewhere, but I don't know where it is. And then, oh, I dropped. And then my next project, which I just dropped and picked up, is, so in, I think, the fall of last year, I binge watched a podcast called Coffee Talk. I don't know. She's Corner of Craft on Instagram, and I think it's Crafty Time, something like that, Crafty Talk. And I binge watched her. So I know a lot of people like binge watch Netflix, and I tend to binge watch podcasts. So she lived in Germany, I think like 2 or 3 years ago. Like I watched 100 episodes in like a week and a half or something. And when she lived there, she said that Aldi, the grocery store, sells yarn, and it sells sock yarn. And I was like, what? My Aldi doesn't sell sock yarn. Sometimes every once in a while they'll sell like cotton yarn or acrylic yarn, which is nice, which is cool, and it's affordable prices. And then my mom has a friend who lives in Germany, and I just like inadvertently asked my mom if she could ask her friend if she lives near an Aldi's. So my mom's friend was like, yeah, I live near an Aldi's and I knit. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. I didn't know that you knit. So my mom and I asked her if she could send me yarn. And I was like, specifically sock yarn. And she's like, yes, I'll send you a whole bunch of yarn. And I was like, no, just send me sock yarn and I'll pay you, or my mom will send you something, or I'll send you something. And she's like, okay, I'll bring you all my leftovers because my hands hurt and I can't knit as much as I used to. So she sent me this huge box, and it has one thing of sock yarn. And one thing of sock yarn. No, 2 things of sock yarn. And they're both leftovers. So I thought it was so cute. And I'm still going to use the yarn that she sent me. I made a scarf for one of my old coworkers out of the yarn she made me. I started a blanket for charity out of the yarn she gave me. So it's gonna go to use. But I thought it was so funny that she sent me like leftover sock yarn, which is cute. I don't care. It was still Aldi's yarn, which is cool. And it's so hard to find on Ravelry. But so this is the leftover she sent me. So I have no idea what it is or what company it is. And I know that it's like and it's only, I think it was like 27 grams. So I have this one, and she sent me this one. So these 2 leftovers, and that's it. And then I weighed them. So this is 27 grams, which is not enough to make a pair of socks at all. I was going to stripe it with black, which I found in my stash. So I decided not to do that. So I did a heel in black, and I started 2. So I told you that I do them in tandem. So I did this toe, then I started this one from the inside of the ball and this one from the outside of the ball. So I have 2 going at the same time. And I love this color right here, this teal, of course, this teal color right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the 27 grams until I run out. And then I'm going to switch to the black. And I think it'll maybe get me to the heel, maybe not. And I'll switch to the black and do the heel. And then maybe do another shorty sock. And it'll be cute because it'll look like I have just plain black socks on, but when you take my shoe off, I'll have like really colorful shoes, really colorful socks. So that's that. And then next is what I'm going to do next. So I'm going to finish those shorty socks, and then I'm going to make another pair of shorty socks with this brown that she gave me and this leftover from my friend Sarah from my knitting group. And make maybe striped socks or shorty socks. I don't know yet. I'll use this probably for the heels and toes, and then this for the body of the sock, and see how far it gets me. I already have a little bit of this in my cozy memory blanket, and so I have enough to make a pair of socks, probably shorty socks. So there's that. And then next is my new things. So in, I think June, I put on some Ravelry boards to do a swap with people, and not many people responded. It was June or July, I don't remember. July, I put to do swaps in Ravelry groups, and not many people responded. 2 people responded. One was Barbara from the Knitting I Love podcast, and another was a knitter named Marta from Sweden. And I sent her too much yarn. I sent her 200 grams of yarn because I kind of just wanted to get it out of my house and have somebody else love the yarn that I used. But I knew that I was filling out the custom forms incorrectly, but the post office woman said that I did it correctly. And when she got it in Sweden, the customs fees were too expensive for her to pay. So I felt bad. And then she sent them back. She sent my yarn back. And so I said that I would buy her patterns on her wishes, her Ravelry wish list. That's long. So we worked it out okay, but I still got her yarn. So I feel really bad. So these are her leftovers. They're almost like full skeins of sock. This is 50 grams of yarn, and this is Pro Lana Silver Sock Series. I don't know, but it's pretty. So that 55 grams can do like an entire shorty sock for me. So I'm really excited. And then she gave me this one too, another half skein, which is 56 grams, and it's called Sock and Wool. I never heard of it. But this is really pretty. It's like a pink and a red and a purple. And I really like that. And then she gave me a 10 gram mini, 20 gram mini, 10 gram mini, which is again sock and wool in a black gray, which is really pretty. I don't know what I would do with this. I might do helical knitting with the leftovers from the Knitting I Love podcast that she gave me. That'd be cute because she gave me a bunch of blues, and this is blue, so that'd go good. And then she gave me another, so this one is a 10 gram mini because she wrote it on there. And it's sock and wool again, mix of beige and orange, which is really pretty and will go into my blankets really nice. Could even use it for heel toes if I wanted. Maybe just heels, because I think a heel, I weighed it. A heel takes 3 grams, so 2 heels would be 6 grams. And then a toe takes 4 grams. I've weighed it. So I can use minis and leftovers for heels and toes if I want. So there's that. Then my biggest new thing that I got in December. Yes, December. My friend Sarah from my knitting group. If you do a drinking game and you drink every time I mention Sarah or my knitting group, you will be drunk in the little 20-minute podcast that I do because I mentioned Sarah and I mentioned my knitting group every single time. And just get drunk, okay? Take like 5 or 6 shots every 20-minute podcast, okay? So in December, Sarah put up a Kickstarter in our knitting group website, which is, if you're from Rhode Island, it's S&B Providence on Facebook. So you can join, and we meet every Monday, and it's so much fun. And there's such a great group of people, which I've said before. So she put up a Kickstarter for a mini spinner. Look at that! Oh my God, I'm a spinner now. So this is a mini spinner. It's called the Electric Eel Wheel Nano. Say that 5 times fast. And it came in black and purple, and has 7 bobbins. And I'm learning all these terminologies that I didn't know before. So this was about an hour's worth of spinning. I don't know if you can see that because my friend Ariana from my knitting group gave me Blue Face Leicester fiber years ago. I think it was like 3 years ago or 4 years ago, 3 years ago. And a drop spindle, and I sucked. I dropped that spindle so much that I broke it. And then she gave me another one, or I got another one from someone else, and I tried, and I just couldn't do it. I just gave up. So I thought that this would be cool. So you get this spinning wheel and 7 bobbins and the plug and a USB, because if you want to get a battery, you can get a battery. And this cost $90. Granted, it took 8 months to get to me, but I'm okay with that because I don't know how to spin. So this was like an hour's worth of work. I got really frustrated. The blue is my leader yarn. I don't know anything about spinning. So I had a lot of underspun yarn, and it kept like breaking on me. And this has reminded me, and there are a lot of people in my life who have asked me to teach them to knit, and I'm like, sure, I'll teach you to knit. I'll supply you with the knitting needles. I'll supply you with the yarn. But you have to know that, like, you can't be perfect at everything. As adults, we think the first time we do something, we need to be perfect at it. And I work with kids, so I know that when a kid fails at something, they try and try and try and try and practice and practice and practice until they get it. And I don't know when it changes. I think maybe college or after college, and we just think like, oh, if I do something once, I should be great at it. So spinning is something new. And, you know, I did it for about an hour, maybe half an hour, and I kept messing up. And then I finally got the hang of it. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to stop now. And I kind of got the hang of it. It's still very loosely spun in places and over spun in places. But as I continue to learn, and if I keep working on it and do like maybe half an hour a week or every other day or something, if I have time, whenever I have time, in time, I will learn to spin. And it's just yarn, you know what I mean? So this will be a lesson to my watchers and people in my life and maybe my kid, that, you know, even as an adult, you can learn new things. And most people know that, but some people don't. You know, some people think like, oh, I'm going to be great at something the first time I try it. And that's not true. So I guess that's all I have for you today is my new spinning wheel, which I don't know if I'm going to make it like a segment of the podcast. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe I'll fall in love with it. Maybe I won't. And I only spent $90 on it. So I'm really excited about that. And I have lots of knitting to do, I guess. Until the next time we talk, I hope you like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching. Bye.